Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJMAC TV, and this is the BKJMAC podcast experience coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Today's episode, first of all, this is season 3, episode 6. Let's get that out the way and let's move in. Today's episode, we're going to be looking at the movie The Flash. Yes, The Flash. It's the second to the last 4 movies under the old DCU extended universe, a film franchise. And this movie, I went to go see it this past Saturday night. I went to the Regal movie theater on 14th Street, which I love that theater. First of all, I gotta tell you, it's a spectacular fest. It's a very, very beautiful theater. Now, I got some reason about going to that theater. I thought it was gonna get closed down, but apparently they took out a bankruptcy, and now that Regal Theater is back. It's a beautiful theater to enjoy a movie in. So I definitely, if you have a date, some friends you want to hang out with, please check out the Regal movie theater at Union Square on 14th Street. Very, very beautiful theater indeed. Anyway, going into the movie The Flash. So I seen the movie there this past Saturday night. Now, let me tell you, watching the movie, I had some ups and I had some downs. Looking at the movie, first of all, my biggest up was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, for anybody that don't know who Mr. Michael Keaton is, he played the original Batman from the Tim Burton series, Batman 1, 1989, Batman Returns, 1992. Now, I always wanted to see him in the movie theater as Batman, because I've seen him on TV and stuff like that. Never got to see him on the big screen as Batman. So to be able to see him wear that costume again and to say the phrase "I'm Batman" was just so amazing to watch. It was just so amazing to watch. I enjoyed every moment of it. It was really, really good. It was just exciting. It was just wow, nostalgic. I'll tell you that much. And Supergirl and the movie, I like the coloring of her costume. I love the daylight shot of the costume. It wasn't dark. It just wasn't. You felt some type of hope with the Supergirl character in the movie. And the Flash character, I'm not gonna hold you, very quirky individual, but his presence on screen, the Flash, there's something about him that radiates that energy of, this guy, he annoys the crap out of you, and he realizes that he's annoying, because when he has to see himself as his past self, and he understands that, and he just goes with the flow. And it's something that we've learned to like this guy who's played the Flash, but however, this movie, they had some bad visual effects, but the visual effects were intentional by the director. He wanted to create this distorted image of from coming through Flash's mind, with like the babies. It was just like they didn't look human, but we're seeing it from the Flash point of view as he's slowing down time to save these babies from falling into a very horrific death. I didn't like the fact that we saw Batman in the daytime. To me, I've always said this best: Batman belongs in the night. He shouldn't be fighting in the daytime. When you see Batman in daylight, it just takes away that dark side of his costume. Batman, it just makes Batman look like a guy wearing a costume. I never really liked the idea of what certain directors were trying to do, trying to change up the role of taking Batman and putting him in the daylight. It's just, he's the creature of the night. Batman is a night person. Superman is a day person. Superman could play well off a night. You could see the changing of his costume. But Batman, strictly a night person. It's one of the things I didn't like in the movie. I didn't really like that scene. I think it was pointless with Ben Affleck chasing some criminal and trying to stop some valve from hitting the bridge, under the bridge. I thought that scene was pointless. I didn't really understand the point of it. But I guess, they were just trying to set up the story. In a sense, try to create this exciting new chapter. Probably is going to be the final chapter, because apparently the new head honchos, the DCEU, is planning to restart everything after the next two movies come out, which is, I think one of them is the Aquaman, and the sequel to the Aquaman, and there's another movie, I'm not too sure, I forgot. But here's a review of the movie from ebert.com, which is, rogerebert.com. Someone I go to a lot when reviewing movies. It's a good he's trusted. He passed away many years ago, but the people that represent his name are well selected and well vented out, and I trust their credibility in reviewing movies. It's something that I also utilize to before I go see a movie. Anyway, this article was written by Matt Zoller. He gave it 2.5 stars. He was nice. I'd give it 3 stars at best out of 5. Or in regards to Roger and Ebert, I'd give it 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Anyway, one of the most spectacular and frustrating mixed bags of the superhero blockbuster era, The Flash is simultaneously thoughtful and clueless, challenging and pandering. It features some of the best digital effects work I've seen and some of the worst, like its sincere but often helpless hero. It keeps exceeding every expectation we might have for a competent, only to instantly face plant into the nearest wall. Whatever that means. Then it hits the reset button and starts again, which, come to think of it, is what the Flash keeps doing over and over again, narrowly with time, parallel universes, and the question whether chronological events in life of a person or a whole dimension could be altered from start to finish. It suffers the double misfortune of being its own worst enemy. Despite real thoughtfulness and an intricately unstable cocktail of genres, slapstick comedy, family drama, heavy metal action, flick, philosopher-driven science, fiction, adventure, and also arriving on screen right after the release of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This movie, I don't know what he's saying over here, but it tells me that the movie is its worst enemy because it keeps repeating the same trope over and over and over again throughout the film. I mean, it's true, but there's a purpose to it. He's trying to, and I think he's realizing this, he cannot go back in time and change the past. Whatever you do in the past is going to affect the future. And he understands that, and it's one of the reasons why he keeps going back and forth, back in time. And if you notice, there's a character in that gets created, or as his past self, who finds it in his own way to continue going back in time, replaying a battle, to the point where it's just endless. And it's like, well, what's the point of this? And the point it is no matter what you do, the same events are still going to transpire, despite they may come in a different form in a different moment. It's still going to happen. But I felt this wasn't really necessary, but they did it anyway. Ezra Miller, whose off-screen brushes with the law make some of the film's raunchier comedy land poorly. Stars as 20-something fantastic scientist and secret superhero Barry Allen, who feels like the janitor of the Justice League and is still grappling with the impact of his mother's murder and his father's wrongful imprisonment for the crime. Here again is this very review. We encounter a double-bind characteristic of The Flash. It's poor form to discuss the meatier parts of the movie because you can't do that without describing the plot in detail. And yet at the same time, a lot of it has already been spoiled, not just on the social media and online forums, but in the film's own trailers and marketing material. So basically, a lot of it was given away. And there's a story there. A son wants to go back to erase the death of his mom and make sure his dad is not wrongfully imprisoned for it. But the story itself is not fully explored and not fully flushed out. And they use different elements like the time travel devices to really, try to open up the movie in a way. For me, I felt like it wasn't really deep enough. And because it wasn't deep enough, the movie to me suffered ultimately. So overall, it's a good movie to watch, but not something that I would put my full stamp of approval. If I would give it a half a stamp. And I think they definitely need to reset the universe over again, because the Ezra, who played Barry Allen in the movie, Mr. Miller, there's just too many problems. They didn't even get a chance to really promote the movie, which actually hurt the film. Because when I went there on Saturday night, it had to be about at least 15 to 20 people there on a Saturday night when it just opened on Friday. I was shocked by this, because usually when you go to a big superhero movie opening, the movie theater is packed. But to see less than 20 people in the movie theater was shocking, because it alluded to me that the movie wasn't going to do well. The movie still has opportunities to catch up. Hopefully that they come in and watch it and whatnot. But other than that, it may not be possible. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 66%. I like the movie. I believe it's over 60%. No more than under 75%, I would say. But it's definitely, it gets my mostly stamp of approval. It's a good movie to watch. You won't get bored. You will laugh. You will enjoy the nostalgia moment of Michael Keaton as Batman once again on the full screen. If you were too young to see Michael Keaton as Batman in the late 80s and early 90s, this is your opportunity to see him then. And I like the casting of Supergirl. The movie comes together very well in certain areas, so I think you would enjoy it. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode from BKJMAC TV. Peace, love, always one.